Hey guys, it's Mandy with Sweetly Home, and today I have a review for you. My review is of the Pottery Barn MacKenzie small backpack. Now, when I thought about filming this video, I thought, well, it's July, and why would I be doing a backpack video now? But there are a couple reasons why I decided to share with you my thoughts on this backpack at this point in early summer. First of all, we are just into the first couple weeks of my daughter being on summer vacation. She ended school June 26th, I believe. So we are just, at the beginning of July right now, and I wanted to film while the thoughts of this backpack are still fresh in my mind and I can kind of go over what we did with it during the school year. Secondly, last school year I was a mom, and this was our very first experience with my daughter in school, so I was new to the whole getting ready for school kind of thing, and we ended up ordering this backpack late. It was in August, and my daughter Aubrey started school at the beginning of September. So this pattern, the zebra print pattern, was not our first choice, it was not her second choice, it was her third choice. So all of the patterns that we had wanted and thought were really cute had been sold out at that point. So if you are starting now to think about what kind of backpack you want for your child, now is actually a really good time to invest in it, especially if you are attached to a particular print. Now is a good time to get it. Also, one thing that I've just kind of discovered and learned is that a lot of retailers actually put a lot of school supplies on sale at the beginning of July and not so much in August, because they know that parents are going to be buying those things in August anyways. So now's the time when things are kind of on sale. And with Pottery Barn, they always have coupons and sales happening. So never purchase from their site without actually having a coupon code. I would go ahead and sign up for their emails, and you will get an email pretty much daily or every other day with a coupon code to use on their site. So you can get some sort of a discount on the backpack itself. So let me tell you about the size that we chose, why we chose it, and our experience with this backpack. So we opted to go for the small size. My daughter, to give you an idea of who she is and what she was in school, she started school at 3.5 years old. We are in Ontario, Canada, and you can start school, kindergarten, that young. You have to be 4 by the time of the end of December, and that was when her birthday was, so we did decide to go ahead and enroll her. Kindergarten here is all day long from 8:30 till 3 and all week long. So she went every day, Monday to Friday. So this backpack really got some use. And because it was being used by a kindergartner, she didn't necessarily have a whole lot of regard of the value of it, and not, putting it on the floor or throwing it around our truck or, that kind of thing. It just didn't mean much to her. So it really has been through the ringer. So we opted to go with a small size. There are several different sizes that you can get for the MacKenzie backpack. The smallest, they call it now a pre-K size. I believe it was mini last year, but this year it's called pre-K. That is not the size that you want to get if you are a kindergarten parent. That backpack is pretty small. It is actually just a little bit smaller than the lunchbox. And I'm going to do a separate review on the lunchbox as well, because we use that. So I would go for the small size, and this is the small size. It is pretty big, and I will insert a photo of Aubrey wearing this. We decided to go with the small size because we knew that she was going to be taking a lot of things to and from school. Every day she had to bring an extra pair of shoes. They had their indoor and their outdoor shoes. So obviously their outdoor shoes they wore to and from school, and then she needed to bring an additional pair of shoes for inside. And then sometimes she would need to bring things like rain boots, she had snow boots, and different things like that. Her school went outside every single day, so she had to bring splash pants, a splash coat, sometimes an umbrella, of course her lunch and water bottle, and then any other additional things that came home from school. I wanted this particular size because I wanted to be able to put a standard size folder inside of here to have her give to her teacher, or to have a place to put any paperwork that was coming home from school, or if I needed to send a note, she could stick her folder inside of the backpack and it would stay wrinkle-free, kind of mess-free. Her school ended up doing something different. They had Ziploc bags that they used, so we never even ended up doing the folder route, but that was something that I wanted to make sure the backpack would be able to carry, was a folder. It comes with lots of different compartments and things of that nature, and I'll go through and show you a little bit closer up some of those options. Some of these buckles right here are actually really great to clip the lunchbox onto. So we didn't do that too much because she's a little girl, and having the bulk of the lunchbox on her back was a little awkward for her. So we were able to just tuck it inside, and she had plenty of room. We're just a couple weeks into the school year, and I wanted to show you what this kind of looked like after a school year of use. It hasn't been washed, although let me just say we did wash this throughout the school year. I just stuck it right in the washing machine and gave it a good scrub, and I even put it in the dryer, and it came out beautifully. That was one of the things I really loved about this backpack. I could say confidently that we would absolutely buy this again in a heartbeat, and I will be buying another one actually. The fact of the matter is that this is in such good shape that we could use it again this upcoming school year, but I think I'm just ready for a new pattern, and I think she is too, and we're just ready for something fresh. So we will keep this for overnight trips or things like that, but it's in really good condition. One thing that I really loved about the backpack is that it has this strap right here that you can clip closed, and when it's on your child, this will help prevent it from falling off their body, or if it's a little bit heavy, you can clip this on and their backpack straps aren't going to fall. Now, this backpack can also be customized with their name. You could have it embroidered right here. We chose not to do that for safety reasons. I didn't want people, strangers, to know her name, so we didn't do that. It's very padded. This back is so nicely padded, and so are the straps. Like, they are very thickly padded. And the padding itself has stayed intact. It hasn't moved around and wiggled or like scrunched up or anything like that. There's an option where you can put your earbuds through. You can stick your iPod or your other musical device in this pocket here and thread the earbuds out. My daughter's in kindergarten. That is not something that we would even think about doing, but there is that option if you have older children who are looking into this backpack as well. There are drink holders right on the side, and they can fit standard sized bottles. We used a Contigo, we used a Pottery Barn thermos. We've actually had to use some Playtex like sippy cups at one point. Sounds weird to say, but they were spill-free cups that she could take to school, and we didn't have to worry about liquid falling out of it. Yeah, and so there's also lots of other pockets. So the front pocket has a lot of space for little doodads. You could clip like a house key if you have an older child, or, you know, just even something fun on here. And then there's lots of pockets. You could put pens and whatever little doodads. Again, she was in kindergarten, so she didn't really need all of that function, but it is there if you need that for your child. If you hear my kids crying in the background, I am a stay-at-home mom. It is summer, and they are off playing with their daddy, and life is gonna happen. That's what happens when you're a mom who's at home. So this is a look inside of the backpack. You have this little pocket right here. She has like a bottle cap still in here. Funny. They were collecting bottle caps throughout the year. But there's this little pocket right here that could hold not much, but you could put like a little bit of change or something like that in here, or a house key. There's a spot for the child's name on this little silver part right here. I didn't mark her in with a Sharpie. I actually purchased labels from Etsy with her information on it, like her name and stuff, so that if she were to lose this backpack or somebody else had the same one, we would be able to identify it if needed. That never happened, but it's a really good idea to label your child's stuff, especially if this is your first foray into school. You kind of want to label everything. So inside the backpack is nice and deep. And one thing that I loved about this is this pocket right here. It was great to put her shoes in there so that her, shoes were not getting onto papers or lunchbox or anything like that. Shoes are obviously really germy and gross. So it was nice to have those in there and to keep them away from her other things. That pocket would also be great for if you had a change of clothes in your child's backpack. The school that my daughter attends, they actually kept the clothes in a special space in the classroom, so we didn't really need to worry about keeping a set of clothes in her backpack. Although I will say I did keep an extra pair of socks and an extra pair of underwear in her backpack, just in case she needed it for any reason. They were there for her. But that pocket was just absolutely wonderful. It was nice to just have a divider to keep things away from one another if needed. And like I said, it holds the, I believe it's the MacKenzie lunchbox. I'll have to double check, but it is a Pottery Barn lunchbox, and it fits so beautifully right in here. Hands down, this backpack was absolutely wonderful for us. We had such a positive and good experience with it. There was no fraying, there was no tears, there were no just anything that would make it fall apart. It held up beautifully. And like I said, she just really didn't have much of a concept of the cost of things and necessarily how to take care of them, as well as maybe an older child, because she was so young. She's 4 now. So it held up really well to a kindergartner. She loved her backpack. It was unique, it stood out, and we had no issues with it falling apart. And that's what I was afraid of when we went looking for a backpack for her. I'd heard some stories from other moms about how they had purchased inexpensive backpacks and they had sort of fallen apart mid-year and they needed to buy another one. And we just didn't have that issue at all. My daughter is a little bit of a tomboy, and this backpack was filled with all kinds of rocks and sticks and anything that she could stick inside that was out in nature. In fact, she used to actually like to walk along, and she would have this pocket open like this, and she would scoop up rocks and she would put them in here. So it's forever finding rocks and sticks and things of that nature in her backpack. So it really has been through the ringer for us and for her, and we absolutely love it. So I will be purchasing another one this year again. Like I said, we would use this again, but I think we're just ready for a new pattern and something fresh. So that's what we'll be doing. Again, when you go to buy this backpack, make sure that you use the coupon code. Whatever you do, use the coupon code. And again, this is the small size. So this is perfect for kindergartners, maybe even first graders. For that, you might want to just double check the measurements on the website against your child and to make sure that it's not going to be too small or too big. So thanks so much, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below in the comments. I do like to respond and chat with you. So if you have any questions, make sure you leave them below and I'll do my best to answer them. And thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Zipper to different things that you can put stuff in.